Hi, I'm Angie Taylor, and in this movie, I'm going to show you how you can use layering in Adobe Illustrator just to create kind of more artistic kind of look to your text. If we have a look at this file here by artist Stefano Buffoni, we're going to use this as kind of inspiration. And I want to create this look that the paint has been merged together, green and black paint. So what I've done is I've created a slightly more rough version of Stefan's work. I kind of wanted to create something a little bit more organic and a bit more like bleeding ink. So I've created this text and I've created two copies of it and placed one on top of the other. And I do that just by simply selecting one and hitting Command C or Control Z on PC to copy. And then instead of using paste, which is Command V, which will paste it out of position, if you use Command F, it will paste it directly in front. So that's the same as using paste in front. And the nice thing about pasting in front is it will retain the position. So that's how I created these two layers. Now the nice thing about this is I can then go in, select something like my eraser tool, and just decide, which elements I want to keep, which I want to get rid of. So let's have a look at this. We're going to create a similar effect. So what I'm going to do is make it look as if the green paint is kind of moving across the top of the text there. So we get a bit of green paint coming in there. And all it's doing is deleting the black and revealing the green behind it. So we're using the layers in Illustrator to create this kind of effect. Okay, so again, I'm going to do some at the bottom here. So we have some more paint coming in here. And it creates a nice continuous effect just by using the eraser tool across the text like that. I'm also going to make these green at the bottom. So there we have some green elements. Let's just increase that a little bit there. Okay, we'll also just bring some green down here through the letter K. Okay, we'll maybe just have a swathe of it going through the letter K as well. And maybe it just catches the tip of the C there. So you can do as much or as little of this as you want. You can also, remember, reduce the size of the brush if you want to create a couple of the odd streak here and there that's also going through the text. And once you've done that, it's quite nice to then use something like the warp tool at quite a high pressure. So I'd put that on maybe 100. And I'm using my pressure sensitive pen, which gives me a little bit more control. I'm going to adjust the size of this down a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some edges and pull them out. So we have some kind of rough edges of paint rather than the really rigid edges that we had before. Okay, so we're getting some zigzags in there. Okay, so just creating like splashes at the edge of the paint can just make it look a little bit more interesting, visually interesting. Now you can also do the same with the green. You could pull and push pieces of the green around to create this kind of spiky effect. So if you want to do that, select the green and start pulling vectors around, maybe getting spiky edges to the green paint as well as to the black paint. And just have a bit of fun with it, just sculpt it, cut pieces into it by pushing the path and pull pieces out. Okay, every now and then you may need to look at it without the selection, so you can hit Command H to hide the selection, and that allows you to continue working on it without seeing the selection. So I want you just to be a little bit experimental and have a play with this and see what you can come up with in terms of your design.